For the past 4 years, there's been so much outrage from US political and media elites about Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine. But it's hard not to see the parallels between what Russia has been doing in Ukraine since 2022 and what the US, in the form of the Trump administration and the Republican Party, is now doing in Iran. Here are just 3 ways in which Trump is borrowing from the Putin playbook. Number 1, don't call it a war. Russia, remember, refused to say its illegal invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 was a war. No, they said. It was just a special military operation. In fact, the words war, invasion, and attack were all banned from use when describing Russia's military actions in Ukraine. Well, Trump and the Republicans here in the US today want you to believe their bombing of Iran and assassination of its head of state isn't a war either. Just listen.
This isn't a war. We haven't declared war on Iran. We're not at war with the Iranian people.
Strategic strikes, and according to the White House, and I just talked to them and talked to the Secretary of State, strategic strikes are not war.
They have declared war on us. I don't believe in the semantics. We've talked about the language this morning. We're not at war right now.
The White House even put out talking points for their congressional allies, urging them to refer to the war as, quote, major combat operations. It's not a war, we swear. Number 2, it was a preemptive strike. That's what Vladimir Putin said after he attacked Ukraine.
Россия дала упреждающий отпор агрессии. Это было вынужденное, своевременное и единственно правильное решение.
There was zero evidence that Ukraine or any NATO countries were about to attack Russia in February of 2022. But Trump and co. also want you to believe that Iran was about to attack the US and that the US attack on Iran was a preemptive strike against an imminent threat.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded.
The problem is that Trump administration officials have privately admitted to congressional staff that, quote, US intelligence did not suggest Iran was preparing to launch a preemptive strike against the United States. Number 3, there's the bombing of schools and hospitals. The world was rightly outraged when the Russians bombed a school in Ukraine in May of 2022, reportedly killing 60 people inside. And yet on the first day of this war, the US and Israel bombed a school in Iran, killing over 160 Iranian schoolgirls and staff. A massacre. The world was rightly outraged when the Russians bombed hospitals, including children's hospitals. And yet on the second day of this war, the US and Israel bombed a hospital in Iran, forcing the evacuation of patients, including a baby. What was it that Hillary Clinton tweeted in March 2022? If Russian leadership would rather not be accused of committing war crimes, they should stop bombing hospitals. Maybe the same now applies to the leadership of the United States. If you don't want to be accused of committing war crimes, as the Russians rightly have been, then stop bombing hospitals and schools and civilian targets across Iran in general. I could keep going. There are so many parallels. Putin said he was fighting terrorists in Ukraine. Trump says the same about Iran. Putin said he was bringing freedom to the people of Ukraine. Trump says the same about the people of Iran. But all lies. So just stop. Stop lying that this isn't a war. Stop lying that there was an imminent threat. Stop Putinizing your illegal attack on Iran.